In the evening, a hot girl walks up the street. She was nervous. Her whole body was trembling with fear because it was her first time. The girl next to her helped her lift her arms and folded her skirt, lift her legs, and then she's in a soliciting position. When the girl flicks her finger, a man is immediately attracted, and he's got his eyes on her. Zev. Her name is Bailey. She was born into a famous family. At 16, she's a beautiful young woman. She could sing and dance. Her parents wanted her to follow in their footsteps, to become a lawyer. But Bailey wanted to be an actress. When her boyfriend came to her with a train ticket to travel and asked her to be a film star, Bailey was tempted. She wanted to tell her parents, but her boyfriend stopped her. Seduced by her boyfriend, Bailey hid from her parents. She and her boyfriend boarded a traveling train. On the way, Bailey had visions of a better future. When they got off the train, he said he'd bring her to his aunt first. Then he took her to a busy neighborhood. This place had another name, Women's Hell. He took Bailey into a house. It was filthy, in the daytime, and the women were all asleep. Bailey looked at all these girls dressed in strange clothes. She said she didn't like it, but her boyfriend still tried to calm her down by telling her he'd become a film star. He finally told Bailey to sit down and wait for him, but instead of her boyfriend, she was met by two strong men. Bailey was scared. She chased her boyfriend in the direction he went, but found an old woman. The old woman said your boyfriend was inside unpacking. When Bailey went inside, the door suddenly slammed shut. That's right, Bailey was sold by her boyfriend for $1,000. What she thought was an elopement. Instead, it was an elaborate abduction. From this moment on, Bailey's nightmare began. The boss asked her to drink water. She pushed it away. Even though she hadn't eaten in 2 days, she wouldn't give in. The boss threw water in Bailey's face. She started to get tough straight away. If she doesn't get it in 2 days, she'd be forced to give in by force. For 6 more days, Bailey finally got desperate. She realized that she had to live no matter what. She had to live to have a chance. She accepted the reality of the situation. The girl puts on her makeup numbly. Then she beckoned. A man took a liking to her. When it was over, the boss came to see her and gave Bailey her first tip. But she burned it. It was Bailey's way of saying goodbye to who she used to be. And now she's realized what she's become. Suddenly she feels a strange sadness. But do you think she really gave in? No, she didn't. She wanted to change her fate in another way. Bailey decided in the next 5 years she was going to buy this restaurant. She took a good look at the way the place was run and gave the sisters what the customers gave her as a way to bring people together. A year went by. The owner realized that the girls seemed to think Bailey was the boss. She was very upset. One day at 4 a.m., a strange customer came in. He asked for Bailey by name. The thugs wanted to throw him out, but the boss stopped him. The boss, who had been here for so long. Of course she knew that this customer was not a good person. She woke up Bailey, said a customer paid twice as much. He asked for you by name. Bailey had no choice but to meet him. She suddenly realized the man had a gun. She got scared and screamed for the boss. The boss hears the call for help. She smiled a little. The man was a real pervert. He began to beat Bailey. The sound woke up all the girls. The boss hurriedly pretended to start banging on the door, but she didn't go in after all. The next day at the hospital, Bailey was beaten all over his body. She received 15 stitches. Her face was disfigured, and her limbs were bruised. The boss told her to just let it go and get over it. In their profession, they often come across such perverts. The woman next to her expressed her dissatisfaction with her boss. She should have called the police, but the boss said the consequences would be the same, so the boss wanted to leave it at that. And Bailey, because of his status, she couldn't even lie down in the hospital. She was pushed by the nurses to rest in the rubbish room. The sisters wanted to help Bailey. They found out who the pervert was. He's committed many crimes. He's a gangster's henchman. Mark is the leader of the gangs here. Even the cops are afraid of him. But Mark himself was a respected man of principle. Bailey didn't want to take it lying down, so as soon as she could walk, she went to see Mark first thing. She wasn't asking for medical bills, and she wasn't asking Mark to go after the pervert for her. She wanted justice. Mark didn't take kindly to a punching bag by one of his boys, and he's not even working for him anymore. But then Bailey suddenly pulled down the dress that was covering her, revealing a terrible scar. Mark was moved. He decided to do her justice.